and I live in Ajax, Ontario. We are all aware of the economic squeeze and job losses in Canada. My question for Mr. Stephen Dion is, how are we going to revitalize the Canadian economy? Thank you.
All right, well, it's a pretty broad question. Let's try to focus it down to first things. What would you do immediately in terms of the Canadian economy?
We'll come with a 30 days plan for the first 30 days of a Liberal government. In these first 30 days, we'll do everything to speed up investments in infrastructure and for the manufacturing sector to create jobs, economic activity. First thing we need to do. Second, we'll consult the regulatory agencies like the Bank of Canada to have all their recommendations to be sure that we'll strengthen the regulatory system in Canada to protect our pensions as much as possible, our savings, our mortgages. And also, we'll have a meeting of the first ministers. We have a federation. We are at our best when we work together. The premiers are asking that. It's what we will do. We'll ask to the best economists of the independent private sector to come with their forecast for Canada and for the world. We'll have a plan for the first 30 days to do everything that is possible, to consult also and to coordinate our action with the other countries.
You've also talked about in the last 24, 48 hours a couple of points that you say you want to look at, which would be of immediate relief for some people. First of all, ensuring that deposits are protected beyond the $100,000, but also to look at this issue of registered investment funds and for certain pensioners trying to bring them out in a down market.
Yeah.
Now, what puzzles me about that is you say you're going to look at it. Why can't you say today that that is, in fact, what you will do?
Because then I would, je mettrais la charrue avant les bœufs. I would put I would not respect the plan I have, which is first to consult all the expertise we have with our regulatory agencies. Like
but
the superintendent.
People in those conditions are, you know, they're suffering now. There are people right now who are being forced to have to put those, pull those funds out in a down market. And so they're looking for immediate relief.
Yes, it's why we need to look at that. But I want to tell the people that I will not wait very long. I will consult right away the Bank of Canada and the other regulatory agencies. I will hear what they have to say about these proposals and others that we have. And if there are recommendations as what I think, we'll act. But to do that now as leader of the opposition, when I don't have access to all the information, would not be responsible. The leaders of the world are looking at these solutions. Some countries are doing it, others are doing something else. I need to have all the information before to go ahead with these kind of changes, because I want to have that right.
All right.
Charles, I'm from Mississauga, Ontario. Mr. Dion, I'm watching the news like everybody else, and I'm concerned about what's happening in the financial markets, and I'm wondering how that might impact my ability to provide for my family. At the same time, I believe we need to take action with respect to the environment. I'd like to know if your party would be prepared to hold off or slow down on the implementation of your green shift until there's restored confidence in the financial markets and we have a stronger economy. And if so, how long would you be prepared to wait?
All right. Well, in some ways, this question links back to the last one. What's your direct answer?
We see the anxiety of Canadians. We want to know what will happen to our pensions and our savings, our jobs, and we want to be sure that the government will do the right thing. About the green shift, well, 130 economists wrote some days ago and asking Canada to do that, a green shift. And the chief economist of the TD Bank recently wrote, do it now. In fact, what you do, you cut the taxes on the income of our families. You cut the taxes on the income of our business. This is helping the economy. And instead, you put a price on pollution. This is helping the environment. Peter, all the countries that have done their green shift already, their economy is outperforming the one of the country that did not do it.
But
so
I guess
it's a good plan for the economy.
The question is, things have changed dramatically in the last few days, if not the last few weeks. And the question becomes, were those analyses that were provided to you that certain people liked, you know, some time ago, still relevant today? And it links back to your first answer about the RIFs. You said you want to hear the latest expertise on this before you make any firm decisions. So why wouldn't you want to hear the latest expertise from the people you say you're going to bring in? What if they say to you, look, you know, we like your plan, but this is the wrong time to do it?
They say the opposite. Speed up the cuts on what is creating wealth in Canada. Stop to tax so much the income of the people. Families need to have money in their pockets now.
So
cut their taxes.
There's nothing that could be placed before you that would tell you this is the wrong time, I'm going to delay it for 6 months, a year, what have you?
First thing, we start only budget of 2009. First thing. Second, we are liberals. We go incrementally, step by step. We start with at the real low level, and we go up over the years in order to be sure that the economy is adapting in the optimal way. But today, Sweden, they have a carbon tax of $150. It's 3 times what Madame May is proposing, and 15 times what we are proposing. And their economy is still very strong. The economists are not telling us, don't do it. They are telling us, why are you waiting to do it? 130 economists wrote that very recently. So what I'm saying is good for your wallet, is good for the planet. Let's do it. We would have done the green shift 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I'm sure that today, instead of losing jobs in the manufacturing sector because we are building the cars of yesterday, we would create jobs with the cars of tomorrow. We have one of the best skilled workforce of the world. We need a plan to make sure that our workers and their families will have a good living now and in the future.
All right. Well, you can tell.
Hello, my name is Diane Courchain from Halifax, Nova Scotia. I'm a single mom raising a child on an income of less than $12,000 a year. I'm also an undecided voter for the first time in my adult life. I would like to know in very specific terms how the poorest of the poor can possibly afford the carbon tax that's being proposed in your Green Shift program. Thank you.
I'm Blake Sawatsky from Calgary, Alberta. I work in the aviation industry, and airplanes burn fuel. Mr. Dion, your Green Shift plan is going to impose heavy penalties on industries like mine, which could quite possibly put me out of a job. My question to you is, why should I put my faith in your party when I could end up out of work?
All right, well, 2 questions, not necessarily saying they don't like your plan, but both worried about what it would do to them.
I will start with the second one. I'm Member of Parliament in Saint-Laurent, where you have Bombardier. Bombardier had tough times, but the last trimester has been good because they are building the planes that are the most energy efficient of the world. At a time where the world is focusing on that, they are making money. We need to be green to make money in this world.
But are you telling him he's got to buy a more green aircraft? He's not building planes, he's flying them.
Yeah, but I want the workers of Canada in the aerospace industry to be able to build the planes of tomorrow. It's what we need. We need to, everything in this plan, everything for an action plan for the 21st century, richer, fairer, greener Canada, everything is built in order to make sure that Canada will be more energy efficient, that will build the products that the world wants to buy at a time where you need to decrease your cost of energy and your pollution.
All right, the lady...
But the other lady was speaking about poverty. Don't worry.
That's right.
It's very important, Peter, because you will never see a prime minister more committed to fight poverty than me.
Well, but what do you do for her? She's worried about the impact the carbon tax will have on her.
She will receive much more money because we are liberals. So the Green Shift is to cut taxes, but especially for middle and low-income Canadians. And people like Madame Courchain, who is unable to pay taxes, she doesn't have the revenue, the income. Well, we'll give them a tax credit. Tax credit, that means money in her pocket. I don't remember what was her wage, but assume that it's $20,000 with 2 kids.
Yeah,
she will receive
a bit lower than that.
She will receive more than, but $20 with 2 kids, you will receive, ladies and gentlemen, in this situation, you will receive $2,400 from the federal government, the 4th year of our plan. Go to the greenshift.ca, letourneverts.ca, the greenshift.ca. There is a calculator. It will give you the tax cuts you will enjoy with the Liberal plan. I decided to be the leader of this great party, and thank you for all the Liberals who chose me, and now the Prime Minister of this country, because I think that as long as our economic goals, our social goals, and our environmental goals will be in silos, we'll go nowhere. We need to bring them together. The Green Shift is not the only way by which we'll do it, but it's a powerful way. Cut the taxes on what is needed to have a strong economy. put a price on pollution and cut the taxes, especially for middle and low-income Canadians, and you will have a stronger economy, a cleaner environment, and a fairer Canada.
All right.